Hello, 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 and welcome back to Babylon's Fall. This is episode 4 somehow. Um, we finished off last time by defeating a boss. It wasn't very fun. It was like a real slog, actually, I would go as far as to say. Um, so something I'm noticing, I picked a class at the beginning and it said they're elegant and they use like sleek armor and stuff. All it's given me is this bulky knight-looking stuff the entire time through, so I don't really feel like I'm playing as a class or anything. As a matter of fact, I've not noticed anything special about my class at all since starting the game. So I'm wondering if there's even any difference between um, picking different things. It was showing in the trailers that you have all these different Gideon Coffin abilities, but I've not been shown how to use any of those yet. So at the moment, I'm just mashing square, triangle, L2, and R2. Right, so we're going up to the Thieves' Cloister this time around. My quests. Um, Wait, Thieves' Cloister? Yes, yeah, Thieves' Cloister. Recommended power 10. I don't know what we're at because the game doesn't tell you until. I mean, I could have checked before going on the quest board, but um, well, that'll do. That's fine. Um, okay. So, good lord, there's so much about this game that seems just like it makes me wonder, like what the developers have played, like what games they themselves have played, because there's so much here that isn't fun, and it's not like it's secretly not fun. It's like it's very obviously not fun,
It's
and
me,
any playtest would
Welcome
have
to the
told
Thieves'
them
Cloister.
that the way they've
The Cloister
designed this
houses
isn't
brigands,
fun.
smugglers, swindlers, and enemies of the Empire.
Um, we'll
What a
watch
place
the
this is.
thing. Sorry,
The
I
civic
don't want to
cloister
be
that
like
happens in the
negative all the
north.
time, but like it's
So,
not good.
can we hope for some respite from this rain? This is starting to get depressing.
Best not count on it. That's no mere rain. It pours down from underground lakes in the volcanic cloister above. Those lakes are constantly filled, in turn, by runoff from the frozen cloister. Higher still up the ziggurat.
Okay.
Delightful. That means not for a while then.
There's one more thing you should know about the Thieves' Cloister. It's also home to the Temple of Bemis, headquarters of the Silent Order.
The
Sounds fun.
Silent Order?
A religious sect. Supposedly, their wordless rituals earn them the favor of the gods, letting them cure the Blue Death. As you can imagine, that's made them rather popular.
They can cure Blue Death. How is that possible?
It isn't, of course. But the afflicted will cling to what hope they can get. Desperately so.
It's like this is quite
Word is
boring,
recruitment's on a sharp rise lately.
because of the way that
They
it's
render
being
unto the
told.
Emperor what is his,
Um,
and have yet to violate any imperial decree, but
the actual like story
The
itself, or
Empire's
this
one too
part of
eager
it,
for
seems all
competition when
right,
it comes to keeping
but
its
it's being
people
told
under
in such a
control, I
bland
take it.
way. There's like no emotion. Well, there's barely any emotion.
believe whatever you like.
Um,
Now, on to your
like
duties.
they could have done this
There's a
in
group that
engine,
calls themselves the Ashes of Helios that runs the
even if we were
Lotus
just
Way in the
walking
cloister.
down a corridor or something. You know, nothing
You need to
fancy.
find their base of operations.
Understood.
But again, I get budget constraints. That's probably why this is done this way. Okay, so what does Square do on the staff? Okay, that's like fairly fast.
Hello, this is Pygmalion. There are quite a few pools of water in that area, so I thought I'd warn you in advance.
Pools of water? Don't tell me the mighty Domitian Empire doesn't keep up the roads in their conquered lands.
Unfortunately, our resources are tied up in keeping the
But
peace and dealing with Galuf.
My apologies, Lady Sophia. I meant no disrespect. At any rate, I believe you may be getting somewhat drenched as you proceed.
wonderful. I just love frolicking in dirty water.
I know a trick to keep you from
Oh god, they're
getting
still
wet,
talking.
Sylvie. Lady Galatea, do you really think you should tell her? Quiet, Scarecrow! Sylvie needs a bit of help.
Well, tell me, what is it, Lady Galatea?
I don't know what this is.
Just use slow on those puddles. Do that, and you can run right over them like a water strider.
Wonderful. I'll just stroll right over the surface.
Is that what we're meant to be doing? Or do we just jump in?
Ask me how it works.
So... Oh, is that what we just picked up? So I'm guessing that will respawn if I use them all and... okay, so... Alright, I need to go over, like, some of the things that I think, like, are really obvious issues with the game. So, generally speaking, and there are exceptions to this rule, but generally speaking, status effects that take away complete control from the player are not fun to play a video game with. Let's take again Marvel's Avengers for an example. There's a status effect that removes your ability to dodge or fly. Now, those are central gameplay mechanics, and if those are removed, the game is just no longer fun. So why put that mechanic in the game? You know, there's nothing good about being hit by that. And it's going to happen no matter how good you are at the game at some point, because, you know, you'll get blindsided by an attack from somewhere off screen, because that happens. Now, apply that to this game. Every attack that last boss did on me, it threw me to the floor. Now, there was no fast way for me to get up off the floor. I just have to lie on the floor and then slowly stand back up. As I'm standing back up, there is a moment where I can't do anything, but the enemies still seem to be able to hit me. That leads to me being chain staggered. Chain staggering should not be in any game. Like, that's just, like, dumb. Like, really, really dumb. Like, the only exception would be, say, like a game like maybe Monster Hunter, where, like, say you would get really unlucky and two monsters would attack you at the same time. Like, that can happen. But, like, even then, there are safeguards in place to prevent that from being a constant occurrence. This just doesn't seem to have had any design thought put into how it operates. It's just like you get knocked down, you're on the floor for ages. There's no gameplay going on there. You are just on the floor. There's enemy attacks that stun you and enemy attacks that... Well, okay, there's just different types of stuns. So we've been hit with that blue lightning stuff, that stuns you. Enemies' roars, they can also stun you, it seems. Again, nothing really, it seems, you can do about that. Maybe you can iframe them, but I don't know for sure. Next thing. The rules for control are all over the place. So, like, with the sword, when I was using that as a light weapon on the square attack, I could dodge at any moment, so long as I had red bar. If I move to the hammer, or the staff, or the bow, I can't dodge half the time when I'm attacking. And because of how fast enemies react to your attacks and how fast they move, you can get locked into animations that just mess you up. And in a fast-paced game like this, it just doesn't make any sense for it to operate like that. If you look at a game like Nier Automata, that game you could evade at literally any point. Like, there's a brief period after you've just evaded where you can't evade again. Like, very brief, though. To prevent you from being immortal, obviously. But largely speaking, you could evade whenever you wanted. And the idea was you would just attack and attack and attack and attack, with the only timing required being on the evade. And that works well. Here, it's inconsistent. It works kind of with the sword, but every other weapon seems a bit broken. It doesn't feel like it's functioning, like, it feels like everything is a bit behind what I'm actually doing. So yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. The gear system. There is nothing meaningful about... Okay, I can't even show you because I'm in a mission. Wow, I literally can't even look at my gear whilst I'm in a mission. Oh, I kind of can. Okay, so we have the stats of what we've got equipped. All of these stats mean nothing. The only thing that means anything is the number up to next to what in the top left corner of each square, basically. That is the only thing that means anything whilst you're leveling. Once you get to endgame, these stats will start to matter. The problem is endgame is going to be hundreds of hours into the game potentially. And I can't wait that long to have something meaningful put into my hands. Like, because as it stands at the moment, all I'm going to be doing is putting the highest number in all of these slots. And that's one thing that Avengers did get right. They put an equip best gear button in the game, which meant I didn't even have to look at what I was putting on my Avengers. I could just push the button and it would be done for whilst I'm leveling. And that worked. That worked a treat, but it also proved that the gear system was completely pointless, is the problem. This game doesn't have that. So, you know, it's not as immediately obvious that the gear system is pointless, but it is. So, like, if I were to want to go with the loadout that I actually want, so I think what I would want is to have, like, a mix of swords on these two, and then bows on these two, I think. Maybe hammers, not too sure. Maybe a bow and a hammer, something like that. But, like, if I wanted to do that, my stats would go through the floor with just being terrible. Like, same goes for armor. If I see a cool piece of armor, no point. There's no point in even looking at it if the number isn't high enough. It just makes everything that you pick up feel so meaningless. And, like, by the next level, I will be using a completely different set of weapons. Like, almost guaranteed. I will not have the same stuff. I'll have no control over what those weapons are, because the only ones that are powerful that will drop will be of one type. So, like, what am I doing? I can't make a build. There's no progression here for me. Like, my number's getting bigger, but, like, I'm not actually tailoring a playstyle in any way. The game is dictating what I play, and it's not always good. I mean, if I had have had it the game's way and equipped those two shields, I would have had no offensive Gideon arms. And then I would have been dealing no damage in that boss battle. But as it was, I was a little bit underpowered, and as such, the boss battle took about 11 hours. Anyway, moving on. Let's get into this. So, square. Wait, are we for real here? Is this how we do this? Jesus. I only have 2 left. Oh, wait, can I just walk on it? Wait, what? But why were they saying about freezing time? Oh. Well, down I go. Wait. Can I breathe underwater? Oh. I mean, this is kind of interesting. It's a bit weird, but... Okay, that's the way I'm meant to be going, so we'll go this way. Wait. Hang on. Yeah, so this is the wrong way, so we're going to go this way. Wait, is this the wrong way? Yeah, we're getting further away from our objective. Oh, can't see anything. Wait, I just... Oakley dokley. Onwards! I'm seeing the problem all of a sudden. I really did go the wrong way. That was on me. That wasn't on the game. Oh, can I... Okay, cool. Wasn't letting me attack for a second there. So all I'm doing right now is mashing triangle, and then occasionally pushing L2 and R2, and it's just killing everything on screen. Like, that is the gameplay. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I should probably evade every once in a while, but honestly, I'm not really seeing much reason to. The enemies don't really seem to be able to take me down, so... Oh, come on, last hit. Oh, I think he just hit me. Nope, maybe not. Can't see anything. I think I just did a knock-up. Come on. Huh. Oh, okay. Oh, the other thing. So you can mix and match weapons in this game. The problem is the weapons do not gel together. So, like, if I wanted to do a combo between this and this, it takes a while. There's not a flow between the two. It feels a little bit better when you're using, or at least when I was using sword and sword, it felt kind of okay, like flowing from square to triangle. But this does not feel great. Oh, okay, actually, wait. Square into triangle feels okay, but triangle into square does not. Oh, it's still up. Okay. What am I doing? Is this a test? Is this a trick? Am I supposed to go back up to the top? Hang on. We're going back, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the fastest way? I could probably sprint, right? Don't know if that's faster. Either way, we're going to get back out of the water, and we're going to try using those slow things again. So we run across the surface of the water, is what we do. So I'm thinking, oh god, okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, okay. So we used one. Then we use two. Sprint, 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 sprint. I don't understand. This is a dead end. Wait, so where are we going? So back down. We have a map marker, so shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, yeah, it's got to be through here because we smashed up a wall to get here, didn't we? Do we smashing open this door? It's above somewhere. Can we... Is there a ledge? Is there something I can jump on? It could be in this area, to be fair, because we haven't actually checked if... Okay, I'm thinking maybe... on top of this pillar? No. I'm a little confused. What happens if I do this? Nothing. I was wondering if maybe it would like freeze the water or something, but can't go in there. I mean, like, we opened up this bit, so this should be where we're going. Is the game broken? What am I see? Wait, is there a... That is awful. That is some of the worst game design I've ever seen in my life. But I couldn't even... Nah. Oh, are we gonna fight? What's happening here? There we go. So I was pushing attack that entire time, by the way, and it wouldn't attack for some reason. Don't really know what the deal was there. Oh. Oh, I don't have my thing equipped either. Let's do that quick. Okay, I want to put my thing down so I can use my other friggin' ability. So, why... Okay, so on top of this, if you want to carry an item, you have to lose your Gideon arm, or one of your Gideon arms. Now for me, unfortunately, that just so happened to be the hammer, and the hammer is my damage dealing thing, it seems. Like, everything else deals, like, no damage. So, when I pick up an item, I become terrible at combat until those items are gone. Oh, okay, we'll heal up. Okay, this is annoying. Like, so everything can knock me over. Like, everything. Oh, okay, I pushed the wrong button to evade. That was on me. I keep pushing circle. Because that is what evade should be. Yeah, we just need to keep spamming triangle and L2 because those are our strongest attacks right now. Hey, I predicted it that time. Okay. I got a gold medal that time. So something I think that they could improve on, and it would be, I don't know how much of a tall order it would be, but, like, the idea is that you're ascending a tower, like a giant tower. I don't feel any sense that I'm actually ascending anything. Like, I just feel like everything is flat. I mean, like, there's the odd bit where you go upstairs, like, you know, but, like, for the most part, I feel like I am just treading water. Like, which is hilarious given the theme of this level. But to add to that feeling, like, you end up back at the bottom of the tower after every single mission. Like, there's no higher base camp, it seems. You're always at the base of the tower after you finish every time. Now, because of that, that implies that the journey up and down is very easy. So, what's going on? You know? I mean, we can probably go in here, right? No? Okay. Well, we tried. Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't trying hard enough. Evidently. Oh. So, I don't need to push anything other than triangle and L2. Occasionally R1. I've got to be honest though, I forget to do that a lot. As you probably noticed. Okay, they don't take damage from the spikes, but I do. That's a problem. What am I doing? Oh wait, we do have a ranged weapon actually. Oh, he's actually out now. We can just... Okay, I'm getting pissed off with this. I can't attack him. He's like in an area where I can't go. I need for him to actually come to me. Like, I physically can't hurt him. Actually, maybe if I do... Oh, he's out now. Excellent. Uh-huh. Oh good, I'm in the things again. So, They shouldn't be putting enemies in these areas. If they can go in there and not take damage, but I can. Like, I'm finding so many things. Like, and I'm not even trying. I'm just stumbling into them, and it's awful. Like, the enemies get stuck in these, like, blue crystal things. My projectiles can't go through, which means I have no choice but to actually go into them to fight the enemies. I take damage, they don't. Spot the problem. Please, video game. Spot the problem. Okay, so we don't have any of these time freezy things. Which means we're going down. Which sucks. Wait. Are we supposed to have time freezy? Oh, wait, hang on. It's another one of those. We have to awkwardly look up. Oh. Okay, well, we're going to get those, obviously. I don't think they actually do anything for us, but... So... Can't really see. I've already said the camera's awful. I mean, like, that's just being displayed almost constantly. Yeah, like, whatever my hammer hits is what dies. Okay, we're completing missions. Guess I should heal, huh? Okay, once again I am hammering triangle and L2. Oh. The screen is very busy, so quite often I don't really know what's occurring. I'm also having to push so many different buttons to attack enemies that, like, I'm not really thinking about dodging. That was pure platinum. Do you know what I was doing? I was mashing triangle, like this, whilst also pushing L2, which is this. And that is all I was doing. That. And that is a platinum. That's a platinum rank right there. I got hit loads. I mean, it wasn't pure platinum, at least. But, still. Alright. Let's kill these enemies really quickly. I mean, I'm not really even trying at the moment. It's just sort of like, whatever. Nope. I'm actually taking a fair bit of damage here. Yeah, go on then. We'll heal up. And now we're, like, fine again. Gold. Oh, it's over. Okay, cool. I'm good. Because I was thinking to myself, where in the hell am I going now? Okay. So that level had a bit of visual variety. I would say, like, again, the graphics are kind of, like, not helping it at all. Like, even though the visual was different, it was still kind of, like, quite hurting my eyes. Like, I mean, like, to put it into perspective, I've played hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Elden Ring, and I feel fine. Like, nearly, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours with this game, and my brain wants to die. Like, like, my eyes hurt, my head hurts, and it's because I'm looking at this. I know it is. Okay.
Wait, is that?
Is that... What's happening right now?
It is you, Lycus. What are you doing here?
He didn't even try and run. The whole street was empty. You could have ran any direction.
I'm sorry. I've just got to find out what really happened to my dad. No matter what. I'm on my way to the volcanic cloister. And that's the last place anyone saw him.
Okay. Fair.
Don't you know where you are, Lycus? This is no place for a child. Go back down to the civic cloister where it's safe.
But I've...
You poor thing. You can hardly breathe.
I'm fine. Really. Just let me go.
I'm taking Lycus back to headquarters.
Holt, what do you think you're doing? You can't simply abandon orders at your own discretion.
We found a Neo-Babylonian civilian who's lost in the Thieves' Cloister. A Sentinel's greatest duty is to the safety of the Empire and its people, yes?
Understood. Sylvie, you are to get the civilian home safe.
Aye. Thank you, Commander.
You, continue your duties in the Thieves' Cloister on your own until she returns.
I actually zoned out. I'm really sorry. I was not paying attention to that at all. He's looking for his dad, right? Like, so we've got mission rewards available. How do we... Is that in progress? Missions? Daily. I think we've... Yes, I think we've done these. And let's just claim everything. Okay. Have we done it? No rewards. Okay, cool. That's fine. Alrighty. Wait, so how are we doing on the Exterminate 500 then? We've done 93. Complete 10 skirmishes. I don't know what that means. 3 sieges. Don't know what that means. Pure platinum. That seems to be just pure chance, is what that is. Quest completion. Okay. Craft 3 items. Okay, so there is crafting. Enhance. Complete all weekly missions. So these get you a bit more battle pass currency, but like it's a lot of grinding, it seems. Season? Exterminate 10,000. Jesus. 300 warlords. I've defeated 1. No idea. Okay. So where are we at? We have hit 600 out of 1,000. We're almost at our first reward, which is nothing. Okay. Alright, so it's time to see what weapons we're going to be forced to use. What's this? It's another rod. So hammers are the best. Well, I mean, honestly, we can put those in our secondary slots, because hammers are pretty OP, it would seem. So we could go for like a pure staff build, see how that sort of all flows together, maybe? I mean, we'll have to do it like in the next video, not this one, unfortunately, but... we will nonetheless keep climbing up the ranks. Cool. Like, we're now wearing another set of horrific looking stuff. Okay. Sorry, I'm literally, I went quiet. I'm trying to think of something positive to end on. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I'm thinking of complimenting is stuff that I've barely even interacted with yet. Things like the vanity system. Like, I like the fact that it's got its own page, and if I pick a colour, it will stick across everything. That's cool. I like that it's separate from your armour. You can literally just, like, look however you want. The problem is I can't, because I don't have anything. Like, the game doesn't give you anything. Like, it gives you nothing. And we've got this. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know what a cloak is. How long have we been going for? Yeah, nearly 40 minutes. Yeah, we're going to call it. In between times, I will sell all of my stuff. And, yeah. Is this fun to watch? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm complaining. I'm literally just complaining the entire time. Like, it's difficult because like every turn I take, I see a design flaw. Like, as in like just a core design flaw that like could have been so easily remedied early on if they had have just tested the game a little bit better. And I mean, they've had closed alphas and closed betas and things like that people have fed back to them different things like, oh, I wish the weapons weren't always visible, and oh, I wish the enemies staggered a bit more, and things like that. But they've not done anything about it. It's the same. I just tried to end on a positive and then I just went back into ranting again. I don't know. If people are enjoying these videos, I'll keep doing them, but if not, it'll be something I just play in my own spare time. I mean, I want to get to the end of the demo in video form, because I said I would. Problem is, I don't know how far this demo goes. It might be like half the game for all I know. I mean, either way, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Farewell.